She dropped her son off at daycare and never saw him again, until now. Delilah Carter's life was shattered on a bright spring morning in Charleston. She kissed her baby boy Jacob on the forehead, whispered, "Mommy loves you," and left him at the church daycare like she always did. But when she returned later that afternoon, the unthinkable had happened. The daycare workers searched frantically, the police were called, and the entire neighborhood was turned upside down. But Jacob was gone. No witnesses, no ransom note. Just a mother's broken heart and endless questions that no one could answer. For 20 years, Delilah lived in a shadow. Every birthday, she lit a candle for Jacob. Every Christmas, she left a gift under the tree. Every night, she whispered prayers into the silence. She never stopped searching. She never stopped hoping. One rainy afternoon, Delilah decided to visit the public library. She wanted to escape her thoughts, maybe borrow a novel to distract herself. As she walked through the aisles, her eyes caught something on the magazine shelf. Her hand froze in midair. There, on the glossy cover of a lifestyle magazine, was a young man with dark hair and piercing eyes. He was smiling confidently for the camera. To strangers, he was just another face. But to Delilah, it was like time stood still. Her heart raced. Her knees went weak. She recognized him instantly, the curve of his smile, the birthmark under his jaw. The same eyes she had looked into as a baby Jacob. She whispered, covering her mouth in shock. Delilah checked out the magazine and carried it home with trembling hands. She read the article carefully. The young man's name was Ethan Cole. He was a promising architecture student raised by a wealthy family in another state. But Delilah couldn't shake it. This was her son. She reached out to the police, but after 2 decades, they were hesitant. "Ma'am, resemblance isn't proof," one officer told her kindly, but Delilah refused to give up. She contacted a private investigator, who began digging into Ethan's past. Slowly, shocking details began to surface. Ethan had been adopted. His birth records were sealed. His adoptive parents claimed they found him through an agency, but the paperwork was suspicious. The deeper they looked, the clearer it became. Ethan's adoption wasn't legal. One evening, Delilah attended an event where Ethan was giving a public talk about his architectural designs. She sat quietly in the audience, tears welling in her eyes as she watched him speak. He looked so much like his father. His voice carried the same gentle strength. When the event ended, she gathered her courage and approached him. "Ethan," she said softly. He turned polite but puzzled. "Do I know you?" Delilah's lips trembled. "No, but I think I know you. My name is Delilah Carter. And I believe I'm your mother." Ethan's face paled. His adoptive parents, who stood nearby, shifted uncomfortably. The air grew thick with tension. At first, Ethan didn't believe her. How could he? His entire life he had been told a different story, but Delilah persisted, begging him to take a DNA test. Weeks later, the results arrived, 99.9%. Match, Ethan Cole, was Jacob Carter. The truth shook everyone. His adoptive parents confessed they had unknowingly been part of an illegal adoption network. They claimed they didn't know he was abducted, but the law saw otherwise. For Delilah, it didn't matter anymore. What mattered was that her son was alive. The day Ethan, no Jacob, came to her house, Delilah prepared his favorite childhood meal as if he had never left. When he walked in, she hugged him so tightly, 20 years of pain melted in her tears. "I never stopped looking for you," she whispered. Jacob's eyes filled with emotion. "I always wondered why I never felt complete. Now I know. I was missing you." For hours, they talked about his childhood, about her endless search, about the miracle of finding each other again. What started as an ordinary day at the library turned into the beginning of a miracle, a mother who refused to stop believing, a son who never truly disappeared. Would you recognize your child after 20 years apart? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful billionaire stories.